Hi everyone. I thought I'd start you from the end, then take you through the beginning. Yes, tonight is the whole enchilada. And it's 3, 2, 1. It's ready. I just wanted to show you what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. So delicious. Oh my gosh. Tonight, we are going to make an enchilada casserole. That's so easy to make. Let me show off that timer. It's so easy to make. Look how delicious it is. See the ooey gooey cheese, the beans. So yummy, delish. But I wanted to show you what it looks like when we just come out of the oven rather than wait 10 minutes because it's just so amazing.
It smells so good.
Doesn't it? It smells so good. I want to eat it now.
Me too.
But what I'm going to do, we're going to put it to the side. We're going to be patient. I'm not going to drop it. And I'm going to show you how to make it because it's one of these really great comfort meals that only really takes 10 or 15 minutes to make, and then you throw it in the oven for 30 minutes, and then you're done. So I'm going to walk my way around the kitchen so I don't fall off the wires, and we'll show you how to make it. Oh, I can come over here. Cool. Thank goodness for my cameraman, Doug. Yay, Doug, for helping me out. I had a great birthday, and I'm ready to get back into showing you some amazing things. So this casserole, it's an enchilada casserole. It's kind of like a combination of a lasagna, like a Mexican lasagna, or you can call it a chili that becomes like a casserole, or chili casserole. So I was really motivated to do this there she is, by my friend Carol Kirsten, who sent me this gorgeous picture of the casserole she made for her family this year, right, Carol? And she definitely gave it a thumbs up. And I know her husband Steve gave it a thumbs up too. And I went, that's a great idea for a live. So thank you, Carol, for the motivation. And hi, Keith, how are you? And so tonight, I want to show you how easy it is. So Carol, wasn't it easy to make? Yes, here she comes. Yes, it was. I didn't tell her to say that either. Okay, thumbs up. So what we're going to do is basically you're going to take a saute pan and you're going to put the meat of choice. So the meat of choice in the cookbook right now is for ground beef. But what you can do, you can really take whatever meat that you have at home, whatever's in your pantry. And frankly, I made a few substitutions for this recipe because I didn't want to run out to the store. Hey, Aurelia. Hi, Jess. So I thought I used ground turkey today instead of peppers and olives because we didn't have that in the house. I used a zucchini, and I didn't have picante sauce, but I had plenty of salsa. So what's so great about this recipe is that you can sub in different vegetables. You can make it vegan, you can make it poultry, you can make it ground beef, whatever you want to do. So tonight's Mexican enchilada casserole will be with ground turkey and with zucchini, onions, garlic, and tomatoes, and I'm using a really neat salsa. And that's another thing too, when you're thinking about how hot or how spicy you want to make this, it's all up to you. If you want to use a hot picante, use a hot picante, and it can be really, really spicy. If you wanted to use a mild or a medium, you can do that as well. So I just wanted to be able to tell you the versatility of this recipe is really great. So, okay, I'm going to stop talking and let's get cooking. So since I am using ground turkey, I'm using the extra lean ground turkey. So I am going to add a little bit of olive oil to the bottom of the pan. And I'm just going to put in about a teaspoon. But remember, from my past videos, I'll just put in a little. And then what do? Do you remember? Yes, I use my pastry brush. And I spread around the olive oil so that it's nice and it coats really easily, and then I don't really have to put that much in because as long as it's coated, then that's great and the meat won't stick, which is awesome. The next thing I'm going to put in is garlic. So I didn't have any raw garlic, but in my freezer, I have these garlic cubes. They look like this. They're by a company called Dolgov. Doug, you want to grab it out of the freezer? It's right in front. There we go. It looks like this. It's a boxed garlic, and it comes with these cubes. So if you don't have garlic in the house, or if you don't feel like mincing or chopping it, you just kind of throw it in. So I'm going to do that first. And I'm putting in the garlic first because it is frozen. And I figured it will also infuse the olive oil a little bit and be really good with the meat. And then the next thing I'm going to do is put in my extra lean ground turkey. The recipe calls for a pound, but as I always do, I'm making a half a recipe so that Mexican enchilada casserole that I just showed you before that I took out of the oven is half a casserole, so we're making the other half now. And it's good, you could do it this way, which is great, because what I'm going to do is make this casserole today, with the exception of not putting in the oven. And then what I'll do is put it in the freezer, so Doug and I will have a casserole for next week. And that's just like a little tip. So the whole casserole serves about 8 people. So I have a casserole that I made that'll serve Doug and I for tonight and for lunch tomorrow. And then I'll have another one for next week, which is so awesome. So I'm just browning the turkey. I added a little garlic. And I'm gonna wait until it gets a little bit whitened instead of brown, since it's turkey meat. And it's looking a little dry, so what I do sometimes, rather than add olive oil itself, I add a little olive oil spray. Just be mindful when you're using like the very extra lean meat. Sometimes you just have to add a little pinch of a little extra oil in there. There we go. Perfect. See, it was just a little mist and you're done, which is so awesome. Who's on? Hey, Joanne, how are you? Hey, Carrie. Hey, Jill. Hey, Jay. Jay, thank you so much for your donation. It's awesome. Anyone who's interested, I'm putting together a box of really great nutritional products from a company called Isogenics, and I'm sending it to 2 of the hospitals in New York City, where actually my husband Doug went to medical school and did his residency.
And was born.
And he was born there, to Mount Sinai Hospital and Elmhurst Hospital in Queens. So if you guys are interested in joining me in putting together this big box of good nutritional goodies so the healthcare workers really have healthy food to eat, just message me below and I'll get in touch with you and I'll show you how we can do it together. It's really nice. I've collected a few $100s already, which is really great, and we're really going to feed, rather than giving the nurses and the doctors donuts and soda, they're going to have some really great nutritional products, which is awesome. Okay, back to the meat. So the meat is pretty much browned or whitened or cooked. And the next ingredients we're going to add are the vegetables. So the recipe called for peppers and onions, but as I mentioned before, I didn't have any peppers in the house. So I'm going to put in, I had zucchini in the house and I had the onions in the house. So I'm just going to do that. So I'm putting in my savory vegetables. So I'm putting my onions now. I'm going to put in my zucchini right now. And then this is the time, what I call to flavorize the meat. We have a little garlic in here now. We have the savory onions, and this is the time where you add the spices. So the spices, I'm going to add, the recipe called for some chili powder, but I'm going to spice it up a little bit more.
All right.
So one of the things I like to do when I make a Mexican meal, I like to combine 3 spices together. And this isn't in the cookbook, but I'll tell you about it. And I'll add it into the details. I like adding 3 spices. I like adding in chili powder, I like adding in oregano, and I like adding in cumin. So if you don't have all 3, don't worry about it, but I did, so I'm just adding it in. So, and I figured I didn't have peppers in the house, so I'm gonna spice it up this way. So, but if you just have chili powder in the house, that's A-okay. So, awesome. And a little salt and pepper. And now we're just going to mix it up. And what we're going to do, how long, there's always a question that I'm asked, how long do I cook it now? So you're going to cook it now until the onions become what's called translucent, almost like glassy. So the white onions will almost become like clear looking, translucent. So we're just going to do that. Oh, and the spices are really starting to smell, and it's delicious, and it's yummy. And you know, this recipe is similar to like what you would do if you were to make a chili. It's very, very similar. You definitely saute your meat first, add in your vegetables. So this is kind of like taking a version of a chili and making it into a casserole. Okay, who's on? I can say hi. Hey, Ned, how are you? I missed you. Hey, Jody, good to hear from you. I love that everybody comes back. It makes me feel good. And I hope you guys are learning, which is awesome. All right, so this is going to cook up for a minute or 1 more minute. It's fun because, you know, you borrow different cultures when you cook. So if you think about lasagna, This is kind of like a Mexican lasagna because instead of the noodles, you're gonna use tortilla, soft tortillas. You're gonna use your meat, you have your vegetables, and instead of the ricotta cheese and the mozzarella, you're going to add some cheddar cheese. Annette, did I pronounce that right? I hope I did. She's my resident, amazing Italian cook and good friend too. All right, so I just want to show you what this looks like to show you what to wait for. So you see how the onions are translucent. So Aurelia's asking, oh, she's Doug's friend. I like adding red pepper flakes. Yes, yes, yes.
All right, Aurelia.
So we have a divided family in our house. I like somewhat spicy, so I'm willing to go for the medium salsa. But after we're done, Doug's going to take his piece of lasagna, Aurelia, and give it a little sprinkle, probably a lot of sprinkle of red pepper flake. But yes, that's very true. If you want to make it spicy, you are my resident cook, Aurelia. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So the next ingredients I'm going to add are my picante sauce, but I just need a spoon. So, but I'm using salsa instead because that's what I had in the house. And I'm going to add some black beans. Black beans are really good for you, fibrous, and also adds to that whole Mexican thing. Another thing I added was corn. So if you have I had frozen corn in the house. If you have canned corn, make sure it's strained and rinsed. So I add a bit of corn. And then some fresh tomatoes. I had a couple of fresh tomatoes. I'm going to add that in there. And then I'm going to add the recipe called for cilantro, which is a great, great herb to add to this. But there's one little problem. I'm allergic to cilantro. So what I use instead of cilantro is fresh basil, and it works well too. So I'm just going to add some of that. But yes, if you have cilantro, this recipe goes really well with cilantro. So, and then basically you're going to mix this together. And then let your mixture kind of be your guide. So I kind of, so this is going to be about, since I put this recipe in half, there's about 3/4 of a cup of salsa, but I think I didn't measure it quite right. But that's what cooking is all about. If you see it looks like a little dry, which it seems like it's a little dry because you really want the salsa to cover this meat and everything, I'm just going to add a little bit more. And salsa, guys, is like, don't worry about adding more salsa. You know why? Because salsa is like 20 calories for a couple of tablespoons. It's all vegetables, which is great. So what's Aurelia telling me? I still haven't used her range. I know, you're like the ninja queen, right, Aurelia? Yes, I met Aurelia when I worked for Shark Ninja. We worked on the cooking system together, and the blenders, and the foodie, and all that good stuff, yeah. All right, so basically I've added all my ingredients, and so just look at this. Isn't it beautiful? Look how great that looks, right? So you actually have a couple of options, guys. We're going to make this delicious enchilada casserole, but I'm going to tell you a secret. If you want to just eat it like this, go for it. It's okay, and just put a little cheddar cheese on top and just eat it that way. I kind of like the whole enchilada casserole thing, but if you're keto, you're mindful of low carbs, and you just want to eat it like this, go for it. Okay, so we're going to take it over to our next station, which is our enchilada casserole making station. I'm going to grab my olive oil spray because I want to make sure that this casserole doesn't get stuck. So I'm just going to spray some olive oil around the sides. And then you start building like you're building a casserole. Hey Megan, hey Jerry, how are you? So what you're going to do, just like a lasagna noodle, this is almost like going to be like your lasagna noodle. So you're going to make a layer of this on the bottom of your pan, and you can rip them just like you would break apart a lasagna noodle. You can do that too. And I'm going to show you a cool secret, another cool secret of mine that's not in the book, but it was kind of fun. And so you want to kind of cover it most of the way. Here we go. Just going to split this again. There you go, just to kind of have it covered. Maybe another little piece, just like that. Okay. So this is going to be your bottom, and then you're going to add half of the meat. So what I like to do to make sure that I eye it correctly, I kind of spread it around this pan. Doesn't that look delicious? Oh my God, Doug, don't you want to eat
I'm ready to eat it right now.
I'm just gonna divide it in half. That kind of just helps me. And then I know that this half is the half that I'm gonna put in the pan. Look what you're getting here from I'm going to talk nutrition because I'm a nutritionist. What you get here, you get the salsa, which is amazing. You have the tomatoes, the lycopene, which is great antioxidants, the zucchini, the corn, and you know how I talk about how you have to have a couple of cups of vegetables per. You have to have a couple of cups of vegetables per every meal. Well, guys, you definitely get it from this because we've added, zucchinis and we've added corn and we've added tomatoes, so it's all good. Okay, we're gonna smear that. There we go. So you wanna have a nice layer that kind of looks like this, okay? So you got a layer. So if you got the olive oil spray, then you've got the tortillas, and then you've got the enchilada casserole. And guess what's next? Yep, you got it, the cheese. So we're gonna put some cheese on top, just sprinkle some cheese. And it's really good to use a sharp cheddar cheese because you don't have to use that much because you get a lot of flavor from the sharp cheddar cheese. So this recipe calls for, let's see what it says, a cup of sharp cheddar cheese. So I measured this out for a half a cup because remember we're making half a casserole. So you cover it with cheese, and if you want to add a little more cheese, I won't tell anybody. Okay, so now it's covered with cheese. Doesn't that look awesome? Okay, so then what we're going to do is that we're going to take the rest of our layers of our tortillas and put it on top. And I'll tell you an honest story. So I bought a package of tortillas and I didn't realize it had 8 and it needed 10. So I'm saying, well, if I need to cover it up, what else can I use? Well, actually, I'm okay. But another thing that you can use, not for the whole thing, but if you wanted to just take some tortilla chips and use that with it, it actually adds a nice texture. Even to put a little tortilla chip crumpled on top for the last 10 minutes is really, really delicious. So I just wanted to give you an extra tip to kind of do that. Oh, Carol, you do that too. See? Great minds are thinking alike. All right, so what we're going to do is take the other half of the casserole. Carol's my resident expert. She made it this week.
Looks so good.
Doesn't that look good? Doug, I think you can even make this.
I probably could.
No, I think so too. Not to be a male chauvinist. Well, actually a female chauvinist, right? Doug's a pretty good cook. He makes good stuff. He's a really good griller. Maybe we'll have him do a grill show one night. How'd you like that one, Dougie?
Yeah, let's let it warm up a little bit first.
Warm up, yeah. Okay, so the last bit. And the last, we're gonna put some cheese on top. I'll probably put a little bit more cheese from the fridge, but that's okay. So basically, that's it. And then you just put this in the oven you cover it with foil. You put it in the oven for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, ding, 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 you take it out of the oven. You take the foil off. You put it back in the oven for 10 minutes and with the foil off, and then you're ready to go. And then you can go and serve your guests and have a great time. And if you want to do that crinkle tortilla chip at the end for the last 10 minutes, it's really good. You should try that as well. Remember I talked to you about, I'm not going to put this in the oven right now because what I want to do is save this for next week. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap it up really well and keep it in my freezer so that I have it for next week for dinner one night. So that's it. And so your end game is going to look like this. So delicious, so yummy, and the layers and the ooey gooey cheese in the middle. So that's how you make an enchilada casserole. So happy Friday. I think you should make it for your family. You could do it. It's easy. You're using all pantry items between the frozen corn or canned corn, the jar of salsa, some meat, and then pick an onion, garlic, and then pick whatever vegetables you want to add in. So if you want to make it with beef, you can use ground beef. If you want to make it vegan, you can just make it all vegan and use mushrooms and sweet potatoes instead of the meat. If you want to use a lean meat like I did today, you can use the lean turkey or the lean chicken. So it's a very versatile recipe, really great. I know we probably eat it once a week or once every 2 weeks, and you can eat it in all different forms, whether it's just as a chili or as a lasagna. So that's it. So happy Friday. Have a great weekend. I just want to say goodbye to, bye. Hey, Jackie. Hi, Joey. Yummy. Good. I'm glad you think it's yummy. Hi, Marty. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Have a great weekend. Be safe and be healthy, okay? Have a great night. Bye.